Adobe Photoshop's sky replacement tool has only gotten better over time. At one point, I didn't really trust it with my real estate work to have consistent results, but now I can say that it is my go-to for every sky replacement that I do. I'm able to take images such as this that have darker clouds, intricate tree branches, and I'm able to mask in a brand new sky very easily. And today I'm going to show you the best settings and best practices to get consistent results using the sky replacement tool in Photoshop in 2025. So stick around. Okay, everybody, welcome back to another tutorial. I am Alex Heights. I own and operate Atlas Image here in Grand Junction, Colorado. The Flambient video I did has over 1,000 views. Thank you all so much for watching that. We're over 100 subscribers now. Appreciate all of your guys' views, your patronage, and your comments. So keep it coming, and feel free to share these videos if you feel like they are helpful. So today I'm going to be going over just best practices for using the sky replacement tool in May of 2025. That's the thing, is like these tools get improved all the time as Photoshop and Lightroom get updated. So this might be out of date by the point you're watching this, and that's fine. But you know, if you're having trouble getting consistent results with the sky replacement tool in Photoshop, hopefully I'll be able to help you out a little bit here. So I'm going to be using 5 examples here of skies that this was an exterior shoot that I did, as you can see, back in 2024. I don't know if this is when I merged it or when I shot it. I can't recall. But yeah, I shot these exteriors for this it wasn't even a real estate client. It was just the people who own this house wanted new images. And my brother had actually shot for them before. And since my brother isn't really doing real estate photography anymore, they contacted me instead and had me come out and just shoot some exteriors of their place before they're ready to sell it, because they wanted some nice, better weather for their exterior shoots. You know how it goes. So the sky was not optimal. After I had done the edits, you know, I was thinking, you know, I'm not in any rush to deliver these, so I'm just gonna, I took basically 4 hours one day and just kind of casually made them look as good as I could. And I'll show you some examples here of the different shots. I just went out of my way to make the grass look better, took extra time on the sky replacements, and then through this process, I was also able to really fine-tune the settings in the sky replacement tool in Photoshop in a way I hadn't been able to do before. So that's basically what this video is here, is me sharing my findings and the things that I like to do, and hopefully just kind of give you some wisdom and guidance that you may not be able to find in other videos that are just more like, how to use the sky replacement tool. You go to sky replacement and you hit OK. Jerry. Anyway, so yeah, we'll be using these HDR merges. These are 5 brackets, 1 stop apart, as is typical with my camera. And I just picked 5 of different shots from this shoot. As you can see, we kind of have differing cloud things going on here. This was all the same day, but the heavy clouds this way, not quite so heavy pointing the other direction. But we'll just go through image by image and take care of this. So first things first, I'm going to Control A and I'm going to crop these, because when I merge raw files from my GH6, it loses the 3:2 ratio and it goes back to a 4:3, I think this is. So I just go ahead and crop these ahead of time in Lightroom so they're back to their 2:3 here. So what I'm going to do is I have these all set to camera flat. As you can see, I've actually been kind of going back to camera natural, so I'm going to do that instead. And we're just going to leave these merge files as is, and I'm going to open them as smart objects in Photoshop and do my exterior action. I have a video for that if you would like to check that out, but I'm just going to go ahead and do that now. Okay, so I have them here in Photoshop. Here's all 5 images, and then I'm going to go up to File, Automate, Batch, and I will have it run my exterior action. So V2 is the one that I showed you in the video. V1 I'll show you here in a moment once they're done running the action here. Okay, so they have finished. And like I said, very similar action to the one I have in my video. The main thing that is different, I'll show you each one here. So the first action here is the same. Minus 100 highlights, plus 100 shadows, and then 0.45 exposure. And then this one here, the second one that gets applied, minus 50 highlights, plus 100 shadows, and then this last one has the most on it here, and this is actually the one we'll adjust for these images. So it's a plus 25 contrast, minus 15 blacks, plus 15 vibrance, and then I do 15 texture, 15 clarity, 5 dehaze, and that's the results you get here, and it gets you really nice exteriors that you just basically have to adjust very, like the exposure, sometimes the whites image by image. So like here, we're not worried about the sky. When I do my exteriors, and I know I'm going to do sky replacements, I don't really care that much about the sky. I'm looking at the foreground in the house here. So I'm double clicking this camera raw filter, and I'm going to adjust accordingly. So it's a little bright. So I'll just take it down a hair, 0.15 maybe. Everything else I think looks fine. So I'll hit OK on that. I have Control-Alt-Q set up for a flatten there. So this one's definitely too bright. Let's bring this guy down. Let's see. This could also be a problem with the whites. Let's see. Get the exposure looking good. And we can play with the whites and kind of see what we're getting here. So I actually kind of like maybe a little bit of a boost in the whites. There. We don't want to go crazy on highlights here. Okay, that's probably fine. Don't overthink it. That's the thing, is like when it comes to your exteriors, actually I don't quite like that's a little too dark. When it comes to your exteriors, don't overthink it. Just kind of like know what sliders you need to play with until it gets to be looking okay. And for me, it's mostly exposure and whites on this preset. So like if I bring it down, do I want the whites boosted? Yeah, I do. You want it to be bright, but not too bright. Okay, that's probably fine. I'm going a little overboard with how nitpicky I am on the exposure here, but that's okay. It's a video. I have the time to do so. This one is pretty good right out of the box. I'm not like that, and it doesn't even need a sky replacement. It's just really for the sake of the video that I'm doing this. Boost it a bit. Do I want whites? Whites give it some vibrance. So that's the thing, is sometimes like a boost in the whites, especially if you know you're going to replace the sky, can fix your exposure problems and kind of give it that like punch. This one definitely needs to come down a bit. You get it like neutral and then see if whites will help here. Yeah, like that. That's nice. That's nice. I like very natural looks. I like a good amount of saturation, but like a relatively like not dynamic image overall, except around the edges. That's where I like my contrast to sit. I'm going to make this a tad brighter though. And sometimes like looking at it really big can kind of trick you. And then when it's small again, like when I'm exporting from Lightroom, like doing my final pass, I will look up at the tiny little preview and be like, how does that look? Because that's what the MLS is gonna be like there. So, okay, cool. So all of these are flattened now. They're ready for their sky replacement. So I will show you an easier example first. We'll go with this one perhaps. So edit, sky replacement, and we will run through this process here. So Windows over here on the other screen, just wait for this to load in. Find the sky. There we go. Okay, so I have a group of skies here called Good Ones. These are the ones I use often. This is one of my go-tos here. I like this one. It does need a brightness increase though, but I've been really liking this one. I like wispy clouds. I don't like I can never remember what they're called, the cumulus, the really like puffy clouds. I like things to look a little more wispy. by default, this is the setting that I found works the best in pretty much every scenario. I do a shift edge of -15 and a fade edge of 15. I don't know why, that seems to work great for me every time. I like to boost the brightness anywhere from 30 to 50, just to give the sky some nice brightness, because I feel like these sky replacement images tend to be a little dark. So boosting like sometimes you'll put in a sky like this one that I just talked about, and you're like, oh, that doesn't look great. And then you put brightness of 50, and it's like, oh, okay, that's better. That's more manageable. I'm going to go with this one, and 50 tends to be too bright for this. It's not terrible. Let's try 40 today because we're spicy. I like to go scale of 150 to 200 just to have extra room to move here. And then for these settings down here, I like to do foreground lighting of 20. Leave edge lighting where it is, usually it's around 70, and then a color adjustment of 0. I don't want the sky to change the color of the scene at all. So now that we have that, as you can see, there is a bit of cloud up here we need to fix. But we can move this sky around to a location we think is good. I don't know, let's try that. And we hit OK, output to new layers. So now we have this, obviously not a finished product, but we are going to get it there. There are multiple ways to do this. In the sky replacement group down here, you see the thing says sky. Here's the sky image. And then if I hold Alt and click on this mask, here is our mask for the sky. The white is revealing the sky, the black is concealing, and then gray is somewhere in the middle. We want this to be as binary as possible, as black and white as possible, with no gray. So the way that we can achieve this, I'll show you some different methods here that I like to do. So with the sky mask selected, I like to just go to my object selection tool and select things that I know should not have any sky on them. So like, for instance, the house. I'm just going to loosely go over this house, knowing that I don't want any sky on this house. And I don't have sample all layers selected, so I'm going to click on the background actually and do this again. Here we go. This should select the house easily enough. It did not. It did not. Such is the way. And you don't have to use the object selection tool. You can actually just use like the marquee tool or the lasso tool. Yeah, I'm not getting results here. So I'm just going to loosely go over what I know shouldn't have any sky on it whatsoever. Okay. And then now that I've done that, I click on the mask. Black is my background color there. I hit delete. And now if I go to this mask, as you can see, this is all blacked out now. So I'm going to try this again with the object selection tool on the shed. I should have better results here because it's more of a obvious object. See what we get. There we go. That's fine. Click on the mask, delete. So that solves a lot of our problems for like, stuff on the trim and whatnot. And like, you could sit here all day looking at this mask being like, okay, there's a little bit on the fence. And it will take you so long to just go over every little bit. If you want, you can come in with a brush and fix it. But if you can't tell it from like just looking at it like this, don't worry that much about it. So here's where the secret sauce comes in for fixing some of these gray areas in the sky. As you can see, this was our best looking sky, but even replacing it, we have issues. So if we go into the mask here, like we got to fix this up here, stuff around the tree, stuff around the shed and this lamp post. And the easiest way I found to do this, we go to brush, we change the blend mode to overlay, flow of about 2 or 3. And then white will reveal the sky, black will conceal the sky. Now, the way this works with the blend mode of overlay is that if something is excessively dark, like let's say I have white turned on, for example, if I paint in here, nothing's happening. Because overlay is really only going to be affecting anything that's gray, anything that's not completely black or not completely white. So as you can see, if I just brush over the branches here, I mean, I'm not going to leave it this way, but like I'm getting rid of the gray areas and the black areas just aren't being affected. Like I'm turning the fence more into the sky right there, you see? You can like go, like this is the prime example right here is going over this kind of stuff. And then conversely, you hit X and then you have black, you can come in here and push all the grays to the black and it won't affect the whites. So you're like, oh, I want this part to not have any sky in it. And then lo and behold, your image. I mean, that doesn't look terrible, but yeah, so that is what overlay is great for here with the paintbrush. So I will show you just real quick how this can work in practice. I like to typically do this not looking at the mask just like this. But I'm just going to come in here. Whoops, no. Come in here and brush out, and you just kind of do this by eye. It's like, if it looks like it's mostly gone, then good. Come up here. Get rid of this area. If you lose some branches, that's fine. No big deal. No big deal. So I tend to like to go white first to get any kind of gray off, and then I'll switch to black, make it a little bit bigger, brush around the trim, stuff that I don't want the sky to be on. So this will fix the fences for us here. I find a flow of about 3 to be like a nice sweet spot. So as you can see, we're already looking a lot better. X, come in again. Just kind of fix some of these areas here. There's a little bit more over here that I saw. I'm also going to hit X, come in over this lamp post. It's not really a lamp post. It's connected to the shed here. So like that could be perfectly fine. You could come in, zoom in, and like really nitpick the branches. But like at the end of the day, like no one really cares, right? So you can like flatten it and you're good to go there. Okay, so let's say that one is done. Close it out. Let's try this one. Same thing. Image, sky replacement, and we'll be getting the same sky put in here. It's important to move the sky around and hit the flip just to make sure that it's not like every single image has the exact same sky. That can be a little monotonous. Unless you don't care, in which case you can kind of automate this process with actions if you want. So like I just go down the line here and I kind of have a system. I know exactly what I'm doing. Try to avoid looking at like the bad parts of the clouds that aren't working well. And like, what looks good? Do we want to flip it? We can maybe flip it. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, hit OK. Just take a quick look here. House definitely needs to be fixed. And then we have some issues with the trees that aren't a huge problem. But if we come in here and select the house, this should do a decent job. If it doesn't, I'll yell. That's fine. Okay, so black as the background color, delete, looks fine. And then B for brush, we're still on overlay. White is the color, the foreground color, so we'll just paint over any of these issues we see. Come down in here, come over here, and try to paint in some. Also, like when you have flow of 3, sometimes you need to really get in there, but don't worry too much about it. You can also use the tactic of moving the clouds, the sky, to where clouds kind of match up with spots where the sky replacement didn't get it exactly. So like if you have a white spot over here, you could maybe move the clouds to be kind of closer over there and it looks a little bit more natural. So yeah, that's looking perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. Don't be afraid of the gray areas. Unless like it's super stark and you know you need to get in there and fix it. But yeah, this overlay method with the brush is just it's the way to go. It is the way to go. So Control Alt Q to flatten, Control S, move on to the next one. So these are the 3 front shots here. We'll go into each of these, see how these are probably going to be more difficult. The clouds down here are darker and they're not going to mask as well. But we'll see what we can do. We'll see what we can do. So again, minus 15, 15, brightness of 30, scale 150, 20, leave that at 70, 0, boom. I didn't move the sky, but that's okay. I can do that here. That's fine. Okay. So if I look at the mask, definitely some issues here. Definitely some issues. Not really so much on the house, so I'm not going to worry about doing any object selection or anything like that. I'm just going to come in with the overlay brush and do my work. So that is incorrect. I'm on the pencil. There we go. Come in here, brush out any of these problems. You might have to get in there and get a little more specific. Okay. All right, and then I'm going to come over with the black, just kind of paint over the same edges again, bring in some of the trees that may have gotten lost in that pass of yellow. Okay. And so we are just getting rid of the gray where we don't want it. We're painting white around the edges and then black around the edges, and we're just kind of stretching the colors where we need to get them here. So I'm going to do one more pass of white here to paint in the sky. But there you go, all done. And the nice thing about sky replacements, like I said, is you're able to control the exposure of the actual house, the foreground, really well. And typically when you're doing a sky replacement, it's because it's a cloudy day, which means diffused light, which gives you these awesome looking exterior shots like this, where everything is just naturally lit. It gives it this like ethereal vibe, I feel like, especially this one. When I edited this one, I was really struck at how the sky helped, because you look at this and like it's like ugh, but as soon as you add a blue sky to it, it just is a night and day difference as far as like that diffused lighting on the house and the brightness of the blue sky. It just really does something to the image. So yeah, let's do like that looks nice. There we go. So already it's just like, whoa, completely different kind of thing. So yeah, house is fine. It's just up in the trees that we need to worry about. We're on our brush already. Just give it a quick pass at flow of 3%. There we go. Okay, we switch to black. Kind of come down here into the trees a little bit more. Bring back some of that tree detail. Once again, go back to white. Brush over. Done. Done. It's a quick process when you have it dialed in like this. So I don't have an action for automating any sky replacement stuff. I probably should at some point. I'm going to look into doing that because it can be helpful. I don't know exactly if you're able to like automate all of these settings per se. There's a couple videos out there on YouTube that talk about how to automate sky replacements with actions, but I haven't looked super into it. So yeah, a little bit of the house is on there. I don't have to do this, but I will. I'm gonna go ahead and select it, because why not? I'm making a YouTube video. Why not? Just get this. There we go. All right, there. Delete. Control D to deselect. Go into the brush. We're on white. Brush away all of our problems. There we go. Okay, X to switch. Bring back some of the tree detail. X to go back. Bring back some of the sky detail. Done. Bada bing, bada boom, finished. Okay. Go back into Lightroom, so I can filter these out by TIFFs, like so. Develop, come in, constrain crop, and we can do like, I don't know, a vertical or something, whatever. But yeah, it's a super easy process once you get it dialed in, and then from here you can even do some extra stuff, because like you've got a nice flat image as far as like a diffused but well lit house, and then like a nice bright sky. And then from here, if you want to like push in some like extra clarity or extra saturation or something, you could do that. But that's my simple, quick, easy way that I do sky replacements in the Photoshop tool. I hope this was helpful for you. This video might be outdated within 6 months, but oh well. But anyway, like I said, thank you all so much for watching, all the subscribers, all the viewers of the Flambient video. It means a lot to me. Let me know if there's anything else you guys would like to see, and I may or may not be able to help. Any questions that you might have, I'll try my best to answer in the comments. So, like I said, thank you all for watching, and until next time, Godspeed.